Thank you, Ed. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's great to have you connect from London. We understand that your time here at UCC is over, and we are delighted that you took the time to retrospectively think back of your experience and connect with us here at the UCC School of Law. So, would you mind to tell us a bit more about yourself, perhaps your academic background, what brought you to UCC, and where you are at the moment in your life, and what you see yourself doing in the immediate future?
Yeah, no, of course. So my name's Ed Ashworth. Before coming to UCC, I studied the LLB law at Liverpool John Moores University. And then from there, I worked as a barrister's clerk in a chambers for about 6 months. Not really sure what I wanted to do after, but I did do a modular undergraduate in marine law, and that sort of piqued my interest. And then I started looking further afield and as to where maybe I could take that with what LLMs and where around me you can do that. And then I sort of stumbled across UCC, and what really drew me to the course at UCC was the practical element. So the idea that um, once throughout the year you'll go down to the naval base, and you'll actually get to experience it from a practical side. What kind of stuff you learn in the classroom, being able to see it used actually on the sea, and being involved with the Irish Navy. That was a really big selling point, and it was a fantastic day out. And thanks to Mark for organising that, because it was brilliant, and it's something that I'll always remember and being able to see firsthand. So yeah, that's what drew me.
Okay, it's fantastic to hear that you already had a great amount of research done prior to applying to UCC, and we are delighted that we were able to bring you through the master's journey here in Cork. Is there anything you would want to share about your experience in Ireland, here in Cork, and perhaps at the university per se? What are your memories and recollections of the place?
Yeah, well, firstly, I remember turning up, and obviously you see the pictures of the beautiful building outside the courtyard, and then turning up, it was a completely different. Like, it's beautiful. The whole campus is lovely. It's so green everywhere you go, and everyone's so friendly and willing to help. I think that was a big thing. Obviously, moving from London, I know it's only close, but it's a different culture. It's a different environment, and everyone being so friendly and willing to help was certainly helped the transition period. And in regards to the School of Law, everyone was so helpful. And if you need anything, give me an email, give me a shout. Like, there was never any moment where I felt alone or I couldn't reach out, or if I had a particular issue with a certain subject, I couldn't just email. Everyone was so friendly and welcoming. Marie, Mark as well, always ready and always quick to answer as well, which is actually nice to see. So it makes you feel more like you're valued as a person, I suppose.
It's great to hear that you had such a positive experience with the people, and I suppose with the surroundings here in Cork. Um, you touched upon the program, and that you had certain expectations coming in. You've done all the research about the program now. Being through the program and having graduated, would you say that the program has met your expectations? Was there anything surprising? Has it exceeded your expectations? How would you evaluate the academic content and the structure of the master's program per se?
I would say it's far exceeded my expectations. Coming here, I knew that UCC was a top 1% law school, in top 100 in the world. So I expected a lot, and I expected a lot of heavy content. But the way it was delivered, it almost made it feel like it wasn't too much. You never felt like you were too far behind. You never felt like you were struggling with the workload. And I think it was where it was a master's, the classes were slightly smaller, and it felt a lot more personal. So if you did have a problem, you could just say, "Oh, sorry, I don't understand this. I don't get this." And as I said before, with the clinical module specifically to do with the marine maritime one, that was just it's something that really opens your eyes to see how what you're studying in the classroom is actually used in the real world. And I think that also makes it easier to sort of understand and comprehend the law you're doing because you can see it in person. So it depends whether you prefer learning in the classroom, I suppose, or seeing it, but it's a combination of both.
Mm. And in terms of your career prospects and perhaps your future career ambitions, do you think that the LLM program brought you closer or provided some kind of clarity in regards to the law field that you perhaps want to dedicate yourself? Do you feel a bit more prepared perhaps for the labor market out there in the law and legal practice sphere?
Yeah, no, certainly. I think as well as preparing me academically and um, to see what I might face. The great thing about being at UCC is you make connections. So there's a couple of I wrote my thesis on Arctic shipping, and I published that on LinkedIn. And a couple of people, former students and lecturers at UCC, reached out, and I've actually been invited up to an Arctic conference in Galway to do with the law up there. So it's not just what you learn in the classroom, but it's also the people that you meet and um, the connections you make, which I think are invaluable and will far like they very much help you transition towards this working side of the life that I'm coming towards quickly. But no, I think I'm very well prepared, and I'll certainly be exploring the Arctic law some more. But I don't, yeah, yeah.
And I suppose you have now graduated, you have the degree finished. What perhaps are your immediate and long-term plans in terms of perhaps further studies or professional life? Is there anything you have lined up for yourself?
I'm certainly looking at graduate schemes in underwriting, marine underwriting specifically in September. But also, I would never rule out the possibility of becoming a solicitor or a barrister. I've got the LLB and the LLM now, so there's no suggesting I can't. Yeah, I'll just see, I suppose.
Okay. And if there was any final piece of advice you would want to give to students who are considering studying law in Ireland, in Cork, perhaps doing the LLM in Marine and Maritime Law degree here at UCC. Would there be anything that you feel is important for them to know before making the application or before arriving to Ireland?
I think it's you should expect to have to work hard, but I also think coming to a place like Cork, um, you should embrace the culture and make sure you see stuff not just in UCC but Cork as a whole. I think if you're there, you should make time to see the beautiful countryside, the beautiful seaside, the sports. Cork has a lot to offer as a city, as well as obviously hosting UCC. It's a fantastic place, and be prepared to work hard, but don't be afraid to go out and enjoy what Cork has to offer.
Okay, thank you so much, Ed. Thank you for all your insights and for sharing your great experience. I'm sure that this podcast is going to be extremely valuable to all students who are considering UCC and the UCC School of Law as their next step in their academic and professional journey. And thank you for bringing your experience a bit closer to our prospective students.